We have a liftoff.
Yo, what it is, what is up? How y'all living today? Y'all can come talk to me about it. All right, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I will sing. Top of the morning for Sunday football cook-off. Kick-off. Sorry, I was rushing to get here. Big recap for yesterday night's games, fellas. Yesterday's all days. Ohio State did what Ohio State does. Came out, crushed everybody like they normally do when they play lesser teams. I cannot wait till they run into a big dog that's the same size as them. Who else do we have from yesterday's game? Who did I talk about? Michigan, prove me wrong. USC, I don't know. Aaron, what's up, my boy? USC, I don't know how you don't beat a team that's one-dimensional. You made a team one-dimensional, and you still couldn't beat them. Says a lot about you guys. And it says a lot about Michigan and how resilient they are and how dominant they can be. Let me see something real quick. I wanted to check the NCAA scores from yesterday because I know I talked about. There it goes. All right. Florida beat the dog piss out of Mississippi State. I'm trying to just think about the games that I talked about yesterday. I still can't believe that Michigan game, man. They had them right there. Oklahoma State lost to Utah, to the Utes. I don't know. I guess they had a quarterback problem over there in Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy was not too happy about that game. Vanderbilt and Missouri went into overtime. And leave it up to Vandy to leave it up to Vandy to miss a field goal, an easy chip shot too. It looked like it was an easy chip shot. They couldn't handle the pressure. Miami beat the dog piss out of South Florida. Cam Ward making a statement for his Heisman run. He is like one of the top 2 Heisman candidates. He's right there at the top of the line next to Travis Hunter. Washington got a nice little dub. UW got a watch. Florida State finally won. Wow, Florida State finally seals a victory. Who was their starting quarterback this game? DJ, and he went 16 for 27, 177 yards, and a touchdown and interception. Yeah. Tennessee and Oklahoma went to a dogfight, but Tennessee 25-15. Texas A&M, Bowling Green. Yeah, Texas A&M, they need to be unranked. I'm sorry. If you're letting Bowling Green put up 20 points and you're supposed to be this big SEC school, that just, let me see, Gamecast. Yeah, and they scored, like, if the game would have ended in the third quarter, Bowling Green, they wouldn't have won, but it would have been a close ass game. But Bowling Green put up 14 points in the third quarter, 3 points in the second. I mean, A&M was scoring every quarter. They put up 7, 6, 7, 6. So it looks like they only put up 2 touchdowns and 4 field goals. Yep. Yeah. Texas A&M needs to be unranked. South Carolina, bounce back dub. Ole Miss. Jackson Dart, another guy who looks like he could be a Heisman candidate, but this is the fourth team in a row that they have played that's not a conference game. They played Furman. They played Middle Tennessee. They played Wake Forest, which, I mean, is a Power 4 school, but we know that conference isn't messing with the SEC. And then Georgia Southern. They are just now, they got off to a good start. 4-0, get your wins early and out the way early, especially with the new playoff system. But Kentucky is not a slouch. We've seen what Kentucky did to Georgia. So if Kentucky can hang with Georgia, I think they can really get with anybody. So that's going to be a good game. Then they play South Carolina. Again, South Carolina was holding LSU. I don't want to say what I was about to say. They were holding LSU by the throat, and then LSU just fought back. They found a way to win. Then they play LSU. Ole Miss plays LSU in their rivalry game. Then they play Oklahoma. They go on a stretch where they play ranked teams. So I would like to see this. I would like to see Lane Kiffin and this team up against the next 4 weeks are going to be really interesting with this team. I want to see how that flips, if it stays consistent or if it turns itself around. And then we talk about the game of the night. Obviously, Baylor versus Colorado at Colorado. 38-31 overtime win. Travis Hunter with the forced fumble to win the game in the end zone, making a goal line stand. I think that, to me, it's obvious right now. That Hunter is the Heisman Trophy winner. If the season was to end today, if it was to end right now, they would be giving him the Heisman. And I don't think there is too much of a secret about it. I mean, Cam Ward is playing out of his mind. Cam Ward is playing a dog. And this is the thing that's really upsetting about college football, because you have 2 different teams, right? When you look at 2 different teams, you're looking at Miami, you're looking at Colorado. Obviously Miami, or I could have said that too. Obviously Miami is the better team, right? Better defense, better offense all around, better O-line, and that's really the main difference. That's really the main difference with everybody, really, is that O-line. Like, if that O-line could give up 0 sacks, give up 0 pressures, and Shedeur could stay with a clean pocket 90% of the game, I'm pretty sure we would be seeing a much more efficient team. But now that they have found a run game, their defense has only let up, I think I've seen that their defense is only letting up an average of, I think it was like 6.5 points in the second half. In the last couple of games. So their defense is playing shutout in the second half. They're playing really good in the second half. I just think in the beginning of the game, it's the beginning of the game for them. They let these teams, they let these teams stay in the game early instead of taking them out early, and that's what keeps these games really close. But you know what? It's football, and it's any given Saturday, if I'm being completely honest with you. I didn't see too many, like, Shedeur is still holding the ball a little too long. That O-line is still giving up a little bit of pressures, you know what I'm saying? But I think if you look at them now versus that Nebraska team, like how they look when they play Nebraska, I think this is a more sound-looking team. I think Travis Hunter completely took over the game in those last two drives. I think it was that one drive when they went to go score at the goal line where Travis caught the post over the middle, and then I think he caught like two more passes that drive if I'm not mistaken, and absolutely went monstrous. And then they scored at the goal line. And then they came back with another score. Baylor came back with another score. And again, just went downfield, threw a Hail Mary. That was crazy to me. When they scored and they had to throw that Hail Mary, I was like, holy smokes. Because I'm sitting there watching this and I'm like, there's no way. I was like, there's no way that they could pull this off. But Will Sheppard, okay, let me just talk about Will Sheppard real quick. They kept saying this guy, Will Sheppard, is NFL prospect, second round, third round guy. I feel like right now, Will Sheppard needs to step up. He needs to be better. Because honestly, in my opinion, I think Omarion Miller needs to be starting on that roster. I feel like Omarion Miller looked a lot better, right? He showed his... Omarion Miller went off last year when he played USC. Went absolutely nuts. So I don't understand why he's not getting a lot of playing time now. But I am hashtag put Omarion Miller in every day, like until they start the man. I think he should be starting over Will Sheppard. Will Sheppard, he gets a lot of opportunities and he just doesn't capitalize. I don't think Will Sheppard has had more than 50 yards in any of these games, which is saying a lot. And I know, like, and what I don't like is also that Pat, the offensive coordinator, gets away from getting Jimmy the ball. I think they really need to. Their offense is too good for it to feel so compacted. You feel me? Like there's too many playmakers on that team for the offense to feel so simple. You know what I'm saying? Like they snap the ball, they're dropping back. It's only one of two people getting the ball down the field, and that's Lassiter or Laster. What is his name? I never can pronounce his name. And he just got the game-winning touchdown last night. I can never pronounce his name. I'm about to, because I always forget it. Here we go. And I apologize to him, because you're definitely a big part of that Colorado team. LeJohntay Wester. I don't know why I keep thinking his last name starts with an L. His last name's Wester. LeJohntay Wester, 4 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown. Omarion Miller, 2 catches, 71 yards, a touchdown. Travis Hunter, 7 catches, 130 yards. Now, that's the thing. When you want to compare teams, right, you want to say, like, oh, this team is, you're playing lesser opponents or you're playing da-da-da-da-da-da. When your team is supposed to be here, right, and we see that your team is supposed to be here, and you have a team that's here, that they have all these expectations and stuff like that. Let's just say Colorado, because that's exactly what I'm talking about. But you see that they aren't performing to that level of expectations, right? And that their level of play is somewhere in a balance where, like, they can compete with anybody in any game. Not anybody, but, like, anybody can compete with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they play to their opponent's level, not their own level. That's what my coaches used to say. We're playing at their level. We're not playing at our level. And our level is bigger than that. And that's what I feel like it is with Colorado. But when I see good football, I don't give a damn who they're playing. When I see good football, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you're playing really well. Like Jackson Dart, you're playing lights out. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you're surrounded by so much talent. You're surrounded by the best play caller in college football. And then on top of that, y'all team is playing at y'all level. Y'all haven't met anybody that can compete with your level of football yet. You know what I'm saying? Colorado, they have met 4 teams that obviously can compete with their level of football. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, like, if that makes sense. Like, teams are meeting with each other, playing the same. Like, nobody has met out. Like, nobody for Ole Miss has tested Ole Miss yet. For them to be like, all right, like, you know, we know where we sit at. Like, right now, we think Ole Miss is a top 5 team in the country. They look like a top 5 team in the country. That's where they're ranked at, number 5. But they haven't been really battle tested yet. You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen them in a dogfight yet. We've seen Oregon in 4 dogfights, came out on all time. Well, 3 dogfights and then 1 like cakewalk. All right, we've seen them in 3 dogfights. They shouldn't have been in a dogfight. But they were in a dogfight, and they came out on top. They found a way to win. Colorado, 4 dogfights, came out of 3 of those 4, and they found ways to win. What's another good school? Nebraska. Nebraska's a good Nebraska. Nobody thought high this Nebraska team, and Nebraska comes on, shows their ass, and they were in dogfights. Oh, absolutely, Snipe. Don't even worry about it, bro. I listen. Everybody got life. It's all good, bro. Just hit me. You know what I'm saying? I can get you on anytime, bro. Just hit me. But like I was saying, dogfights. Like, when I'm watching football, and you know, that's the one thing I don't like about college football, that you have teams like Ole Miss playing teams like Furman. Why is Ole Miss playing Furman? We know what the outcome is. You know what I'm saying? We know. I wish that's one thing. That's the one thing that I do wish, is that they would stop doing with college football, is stop playing these out of pocket non-conference games. Like, I can understand if you're playing like cross conference, if Ole Miss to play Michigan to start the year, and then they're like, you know, like how the NFL does, like they'll play the AFC West, they'll play the NFC West, and the NFC West, and then, you know, they'll play the AFC East, or whatever case may be, like that. You mix it up like that. The SEC can be playing the Big Ten. Like, I think it's only, 4 out of conference games that they can have. You play those 4 out of conference games, but they have to be Big Ten, Pac-12, ACC, whatever the case may be, right? That way, we don't see these 60-point blowouts, 80-point blowouts, like. And y'all are letting these schools, you know, pay these teams or whatever to get, like, to be embarrassed like that. That's, to me, that's dumb. That's whack. I can't wait till they're never gonna get rid of that. But that's one thing that I wish that college football would get rid of, is that. Get rid of these. Like, SEC should not be playing the MEAC. SEC should not be playing the SWAC. Big Ten should not be playing the SWAC. Big Ten should not be playing freaking the AAC. Not the ACC, the AAC. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's stupid. Because then we get games where guys like Jackson Dart is throwing for 6-7 touchdowns against a school like Furman. Ole Miss got like 5-6 guys on both sides of the ball that run 4.4s, 4.3s. Furman probably has, 1 guy, 2 guys that could do that? That could keep up with those guys? That D-line, probably not as big as that O-line, vice versa. That's what I don't like. That's the main thing that I do not like. That's the main thing I don't like. Also, last 20 years, 4 Heisman quarterbacks. That's the thing. That's why I think now is a special time, a special moment for Travis to win it. Because not only he's arguably top 3 position on offense as a wide receiver, right? There's not many other wide receivers that's averaging over 100 yards a game right now. Even if he couldn't score versus Nebraska. He didn't score last night versus Baylor, but he was dominant in multiple drives where like I was just saying, he had a chunk of his yards came from one drive in the third quarter. It was either third or fourth quarter, where they said, F it, we just gonna go to Trav. Threw a deep post over the middle, caught it. Quick out route, caught it. Then get to the goal line, hand it off, touchdown. You know, easy, simple football. And then when you look at it in a cornerback position, They don't throw him the ball. If they don't throw him the ball on defense, and then when they do throw it to his side, it's a pass deflection, it's incomplete, or it is a short yardage gain. Like with them, when I mean short yardage, I mean like 5 yards or less. He has an interception when thrown to his side. Forced fumble to win the game. I think right there, for me, that jumped it drastically. To force a fumble to win the game. You know what I'm saying? Like we see. I'm gonna talk about the next segment in a second about MVP, but we see, like, let's just take Lamar's MVP for example, because that's probably my best analogy from what I'm about to say. Lamar didn't have outstanding numbers, right? He didn't have outstanding numbers last year in his MVP. We've seen other quarterbacks have better numbers than him last year, right? Dak Prescott being an example. Josh Allen having more touchdowns or whatever case may be. But it's about, to me, last year's MVP, Lane, I'll die on a hill about it, is about the biggest moments. You know what I'm saying? What would your team be without you in those moments? Who would your team be without you in those moments? What's your team's identity without you? You feel me? And although he had a really great defense last year, the best defense in the league last year, arguably, I still don't think that they win majority of those games without him at the helm, if I'm being completely honest with you. And I say the same thing about this Colorado team with Travis Hunter. I don't think that they win these 3 games that they've won without Travis Hunter. I don't think that they win that game last night versus Baylor without Travis Hunter forcing that fumble, because I think once they score that, I don't think that their defense is going to stop them again, on another, because the way the overtime rules work, they score, then they get the ball back again. They have to go score within like the 2-4 yard line, and they were running the ball pretty damn good last night, to an extent for Baylor, getting like 3-4 yards here, 3-4 yards here. So I wouldn't not expect them to run the ball right there, and then, put the pressure on Colorado to go score again. So him forcing that fumble, and that's a big what if. We don't know what would happen then, but that's what I would assume what would happen in that given situation. But yeah, it's for corners. There's only 3 corners that I could think of, 2 corners right now that I could think of that you could put in the realm or the helm of Travis, and that's Will Johnson and Denzel Burke. Those are the only 2 that I could think of right now. And Will Johnson just got hurt. I hope he comes back. And Denzel Burke, again, Ohio State hasn't played a really good team yet, so we haven't really seen them been battle tested, right? We haven't seen them go to work like we want to see them go to work. We've just seen them, call a play and the play works. How many games do I see Colorado winning after last night? Because last night was a big factor for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is what I was just asking my friend last night. I was asking him, with Nebraska losing and Illinois winning, I feel like that's going to drop Nebraska out of the rank conversation. And with Colorado winning their first conference game, I was thinking, and he said no, and I agreed with him, that if they won this game in fashion, and I mean like, by 10 or 10 plus points, would they be ranked? And he said no. And I don't even think that they're going to get ranked now. But after watching how they just played just now, with the grit and how their defense how their defense hasn't let up over 7 points in the second half in multiple games. Not 7 games, but like averaging that 7 points in the second half. If they could get it clicking early, I can see them winning. Let me see. I can see them 1, 2, 3, 4 more games. I can see them winning 4 more games. But like I'm saying though, I see them playing at a level of their opponent. I feel like they will play to the level of their opponent. I just think that Nebraska game really put a bad taste in everybody's mouth, and they got smacked in the face. They got smacked in the mouth with it. And I think that, but they don't. that was a really bad taste, and we got to see how that O line needed to get some work in and stuff. And since then, their O line has improved. I mean, let's go look at the stat numbers from Colorado State's game. Shedeur was sacked. It doesn't tell me how many times he was sacked. That must mean he didn't get sacked. I don't think that he didn't get sacked that Colorado State game. Did he not get sacked that Colorado State game? Are they going to show me if he got sacked this game? No, it's not going to show me if he got sacked or not this game. But I know he got sacked last night, though. Either way, their O-line has improved. I mean, he's still getting pressured, but I think that's because they're sending 5, and a lot of those guys need help, like double teaming and stuff. So when it comes to like a 4-man pressure, he gets more help with the double teams and stuff. But like on the one-on-ones, I think that him having time in the pocket really helps them. And then if that O-line can keep improving and keep building on this, then they can actually they can win some serious games. They could really win some serious games. Kansas State just got blown out by BYU, so they're probably going to drop in the rankings. And I mean, they just got their ass handed to them by BYU. So that's what I'm saying. I don't look at these games and be like, all right, cool. This is a definite L. This is a definite L. This is a definite L. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. So I would like to see like the Ohio State and Marshall game. Ohio State, if it wouldn't have been 49-14 if that flag early in the second quarter or late in the second quarter, because Marshall was getting with Ohio State in that first half. It wouldn't have got bad if they wouldn't have got flagged on that special teams flag, on that punt flag. If they don't get flagged for that, I think this game is a lot closer than what the score looks, because Marshall got off to a good start early. They don't hand Heisman players on mediocre teams. They have currently 3 ranked teams later this year. They do need to win, absolutely. And you're right, they don't hand to mediocre teams, but when you have a player that's playing that out of his mind, you can't simply ignore the fact that what he's doing. He is, right now, what he just did last night, I mean, the only thing that would really make Cam Ward jump and solidify his spot mandatory is, let me see. I think win his conference, win his division. Win his conference. He's playing at a high level. I can't take anything away from Cam Ward. I just said that. He's playing at a super high level. But again, Florida A&M, Ball State, South Florida, none of these teams are battle testing this team. Like Colorado, they're being battle tested because obviously they are a lesser team. Like if you look at the roster, obviously when you look at Miami, they have a better O-line than them. They have a better D-line than them. That's a fact. Okay? All around, I think that their secondary in Miami is better because you only have Travis Hunter and Shiloh over there. I mean, McKinney is nice, but McKinney got picked on all last night. He was 2 touchdowns, 2 reasons of the touchdown. He got beat on man coverage twice last night on big plays. And then Hodge got beat on that fade ball last night too. Miami has a better backfield. You know what I'm saying? So they just look like, Miami looks like the better team. But it doesn't look like they've been battle tested yet. They haven't looked like they've been battle tested yet. And I don't think they're going to, actually, because the rest of their schedule looks like Miami's going to go undefeated, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. They play Tech next weekend. That's a dub. They play California, dub. Louisville, that's going to be bump, maybe. Florida State, dub. Duke, dub. Oh, well, no, Duke is undefeated right now, so Duke might be a little bit of an eyebrow raiser, but dub. Georgia Tech, dub. Wake Forest, dub. Syracuse, dub. You know what I'm saying? I agree, but they are playing lesser teams, and Hunter is superior. He should have no problem leading all statistical categories, but he isn't. Okay, what statistical category does he need to lead in, though? He's his team leading yard, and he leads his team in receiving yards. He has 2 turnovers on defense. If we're talking about all of college football, then in my opinion, that would be actually maniacal, because in that case, that means a lot of things have to take into factor. Like the O line has to hold up, and the O line has to hold up. We know that for a fact. I think if this O line holds up, you know what I'm saying, this Colorado team would be 10 times better. They would be ranked. They would be ranked if this O line was better. If I'm being completely honest with you, they would be one of the better teams in the country. They would look like one of the better teams in the country, in my opinion. Look, I wouldn't say they would be, but they would look like one of the better teams in the country. And then he's playing over 100 snaps a game. He's playing over 100 snaps consistently and at an elite level multiple games. These are things that are, you know what I'm saying? These are the reasons that they elevate him. Like, if a Heisman is the best college football player in college football, and you have a guy that's playing both ways, he's making plays on both ways. They don't throw it to him on the defensive side of the ball at all because they know it's going to go the other way. Offensively, you can't stop the guy, okay? One-on-one, you can't cover him one-on-one. You have to double-team him. And even when you do double-team him, we've seen last night, he's going to bag the hell out of you, all right? What do you say about that? He turns the dead plays into big plays. We seen that last weekend when he caught a hitch route that should have been in the backfield, and he turned around and turned it up for 6. I mean, what are we saying? That's the best college. He is the best college football player right now, undoubtedly. That's where I think no, I don't think that's arguable. I don't, because that offense doesn't move without Hunter. That Hail Mary doesn't get called. That Hail Mary doesn't find success without Travis Hunter, because that Hail Mary, 5 players followed Travis Hunter, and you had LeJohntay Wester on the backside one-on-one. So I think there's not a more important player to a team than Travis Hunter to Colorado. Even if like you could take away that the wide receiver of Illinois' wide receiver, right? You could take that away, but I'm sure what's their idea? I don't watch their football. I only watched they one game last night, and I feel like that one game that I watched, I can't tell you what their identity is just from watching one game. But I've watched every Colorado game, and I can tell you that their identity is putting the ball in the air and getting the ball to Travis Hunter. That's what their identity is. Jimmy Horn is a factor. Will Shepard, when he decides to catch the damn ball, factor. LeJohntay Wester, when he's consistent, factor. I really wish they would put Omarion Miller in, because he would look like the best college football player, or best wide receiver in college football, if they would just get him the ball. That man is a dog. They need to let him out of the cage. They run 4 receivers. They don't have no tight ends on the field unless they're adding protection. So, I mean, like, that's their identity, putting the ball in the air, getting it to Travis Hunter. You take Travis Hunter off the field, who are you throwing it to? You know what I'm saying? Who are we throwing it to? And he has these other weapons, but I'm just saying, like, we know what their offense is. You know what I'm saying? Their offense is not. They have a lot of great guys on that offense. I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but when you look at it, you have a guy playing 2 ways, and the guy playing 2 ways is getting the most targets on offense. That says a lot about your offense and how important he is to your offense. But I'm going to end on that note. That was a great conversation for college football. I can't wait for next weekend. Oregon comes back on the field. Woo! We come back. We kind of bust ass. I can't wait. I'm not happy about this bye week, but it is what it is. We got some NFL to talk about. Before I go, we got 20 minutes left because I have a long day ahead of me. I would like to stay on a little longer, but I'm a busy man. Let's see. We got scores. We want to talk some NFL. Are we excited for today, guys? I'm excited for some NFL football today. I'm always excited. We got some 1 o'clock games, and let me just look at this, skim through this, and tell you what the big 1 o'clock games are to me. In my opinion, again, this is just opinionated. I completely understand what you're saying, Snipe. I completely understand what you're saying. It could be the same argument that like, I don't know, damn, I had a really good guy in mind from a couple seasons ago who was going absolutely bonkers, but played on the list. Not a couple seasons ago. Like Tavon Austin could have won Heisman. Tavon Austin could have won Heisman, but he played on West Virginia. That was a guy that I thought could have won Heisman, but he didn't because he played on West Virginia. So it is what it is. Let's talk about these games today. 1:00 window. Steelers versus Chargers. I'm not interested. I don't think Justin Herbert is playing, so I'm not interested. Texans versus Vikings. That's a game I want to see. That's a game that I would like to see. D'Amico versus Flores. Brian Flores. And that's going to be a really good game. Damn, it's going to be a really good game. I want to see that game. Saints versus Eagles. Another good 1:00 game. What's the money line? New Orleans 2.5. Is New Orleans favored in this game? New Orleans is favored in this game. 52-47. Wow, that's crazy. Broncos versus Bucks. Easy dub. All right, let me just give you all my predictions. Chargers versus Steelers. I got the Steelers winning that game. They're going 3-0. That defense is crazy. Vikings versus Texans. I got the Texans rolling in and stopping that game up. I think Justin Jefferson was hurt coming out of that game last week. Not that means anything, but you're taking away their number one weapon. I didn't really see too much of a run game from them. Well, no, they got Aaron Jones. So, but I still didn't see too much of a run game from them. So I want to see how this looks. But I definitely got the Texans winning that game. I think the Texans start off 3-0. Eagles versus Saints. I got the Eagles making a bounce back. This is my upset. This is not really an upset, but I got the Eagles making a bounce back. They got a bitter taste in their mouth from last week. They're like, this is not how we should look. I think the Saints, they're rolling right now. The Saints are really rolling, but I can't see that Eagles team dropping 2 losses in a row, especially a loss that they shouldn't have lost. But shout out to the Falcons, though. I like the Falcons this year. Bucks versus Broncos. I got the Bucks. That's an easy dub not an easy dub, but that's going to be a really good dub for them. Baker, hot right now. Baker looking good. Offense is looking good. Chris Godwin looking good. Bucky, Rashad White. Offense is looking really good. Defense could step up just a little bit more. But I think their defense, builds some rapport and some chemistry with each other today, locking down on that Broncos team. Pat Surtain versus Mike Evans today. That's a good matchup. Packers versus Titans. Got the Packs this game. I see the Titans falling 0-3. Giants versus Browns. If Daniel Jones is starting, Myles Garrett is about to have a field day. Definitely got the Browns winning that game, especially because it's in Cleveland. Bears versus Colts. I got the Colts getting their first victory today. I do not think the Colts fall 0-3. If they do, they are in trouble. But I definitely have the Colts winning this game. Bears are a little salty after that loss last weekend, but I think that they play really well. I just think that the Colts outplay them. Panthers versus Raiders. Mad Max Crosby. Well, do we see what the Panthers? I don't care what quarterback you put back there. That O-line is not gonna hold up. I'm sorry. Mad Max and Christian Wilkins are about to have another freaking field day. Let me find out that Mad Max and Christian Wilkins carries that team to 8 to 9 to 10 wins. Let me find out. I feel like the Raiders is a really bad matchup for a lot of teams this year. I really do. And just because of that duo on that D-line between Mad Max and Christian Wilkins, I think that that matchup is absolutely insane. Dolphins versus Seahawks. Seahawks are 2-0. Dolphins 1-1. Dolphins having quarterback problems with Tyler Huntley at quarterback. Not quarterback problems, but, quarterback questions, with Tyler Huntley at quarterback starting. I think it's either Skyler starting or Tyler Huntley. I think it's going to be Skyler because Tyler just got there. Damn, that's a bar. So I got the Seahawks starting 3-0. Facts. I know that's a fact. I'm surprised Corn not in here, because if Corn was in here, y'all be going at it. Ravens and Cowboys. Cowboys 1-1, and they just got their ass handed to them. Now, this is game of the week. This has to be game of the week. This has to be the biggest game of the day. If I'm going like, because this is. But for me, let me tell you, let me take that back. It's a big game for the Ravens. I think this probably like this determines the rest of the season for the Ravens, if I'm being completely honest with you, in my opinion. Because from here on out, the Ravens have to dogfight their way for the rest of the season. For the Cowboys, I feel like they can, like, it's not mandatory for them to win this game. And let me tell you why. Their division is a lot easier than the Ravens division. Okay? You have the Giants, who you're probably going to sweep. You have the Commanders, who you're most likely going to sweep. And then you have the Eagles, who you're probably going to split with. So with 2, 4, 5, that's 5 wins. You already have one, so you're 6-2 with this loss to the Ravens. And then, you know, you guys are regular season bullies, so I'm sure you're probably going to drop 3 more games, probably finish 12-5, 11-6, still make the playoffs as a wild card, maybe at the 5th seed or the 6th seed. So you should be fine if you lose this game. The Ravens, on the other hand, every team in the AFC is really good right now, damn near. Not every team, but majority of the AFC is really good. So you have, I can name like 8 playoff teams right now. You got the Steelers right now that look like a playoff team just because of that defense alone. You got the Browns. If they could bounce back, they could be a playoff team. So as well as the Bengals. Your whole division could go to the playoffs if they could bounce back, right? The Chiefs, playoff team. Chargers, if they can keep that run game consistent, playoff team. But let me talk about the guaranteed playoff teams. You got the Jets. You got the Bills. You got Houston. Jacksonville is off to a really good. Well, no, they're not. They're 0-2. I was going to say Jacksonville was off to a good start, but then that would have been a lie. So then that's 8. I just named 8 playoff teams, right? Yeah, that was 8. And then you got the Ravens, so that's 9. And not all 9 teams can make the playoffs. So Ravens, you need to get it clicking, all right? Because yeah, you lose this game, the rest of your season is still hard. It doesn't get easier than this because you still got to play the rest of the NFC East. You still got to play your division, the rest of your division, you know, a couple more times. So that's going to be a really good game. I hope the Ravens do come out on top, though. I would really hate to see them fall 0-3. Lions versus Cardinals. 1-1 teams. I like the Lions this game. I really do. But I wouldn't be surprised if Kyler shocks us with a really great game. Him and Marvin went crazy last week, but I honestly think that the Lions defense is a lot better than the Rams defense. So I don't think that we will see a lot of the same mistakes that the Rams made last week against the Cardinals. 49ers versus the Rams. Christian McCaffrey's not playing. Puka Nacua is not playing. Cooper Kupp's not playing. Deebo Samuel's not playing. George Kittle's not playing. That is going to be a very interesting 4 o'clock game that I probably will not be watching because it's probably going to be so one-sided. I still think the 49ers are going to probably curb stomp the Rams. I'm not going to lie to you because that defense is still, everybody on the defense is still there. And then you got the night game, the Chiefs versus the Falcons. Ooh, Snipe, how you feeling about that? Chiefs spread is -3. Total is 46.5. ATL is plus 140 odds. I like Falcons giving y'all first upset loss. I'm not going to lie to you. I like the Falcons giving you guys your first loss. And I'm not hating on you guys, but I just really like this Falcons team for some reason. Now, I think Chris Jones is probably going to give Kirk hell, knowing that he, and Spags, you know this quarterback can't move. Send the dogs on this man. But I feel like this game is going to be a lot closer than what it sounds like it should be. Right? I think that if I was looking at this game like with my eyes closed and I hear Chiefs and I hear Falcons, I'm like, oh, the Chiefs are going to beat the brakes off of them. But now this is a new Falcons team, an upgraded Falcons team. Kirk looked really good in the 2-minute. really good in the 2-minute. I still don't think he could drive the ball to the outside of the numbers. I think he still struggles with that. But I also think that they can come away with this win. I really do. I really do. But I like Patrick Mahomes on the road, though. Patrick Mahomes plays well in any stadium. Every stadium is Patrick Mahomes. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs win. But I'm going to rock with the Falcons for the upset. Because who doesn't like an upset, right? Who doesn't like an upset? I love upsets. And then Monday's night's game, we got a doubleheader for Monday night. The Bills versus the Jags and the Commanders versus the Bengals to finish the week out. Last time I seen a stat that that Trevor Lawrence is like 2-0 versus the Bills, right? They've only played him twice and he's beaten them twice. Can they get their first win? I think this is a crucial first win for the Jags too if they get it. If they don't win here, I don't want to say kiss your season goodbye because anything can happen, but expect it to be a dog fight. You'll probably finish 9-8 on the rest of the year. And then Commanders versus the Bengals. The Bengals also need a win here. You need to win bad. You need to win really bad. And being that your specialty is putting the ball in the air and you're versing a team who can't stop the pass for shit, I think that the Bengals walk away with this game. I think that the Bengals, y'all not going to curb stomp them, but y'all are going to put up some serious numbers. And we're going to be like, everybody's going to be like, oh my God, the Bengals are back. Oh my God, Joe Burrow. Oh my God, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow is back. Top 2 quarterback in the league. I'm already ready for it. But I do think that the Bengals win that game. I do think that the Jags win this game just because history never fails us, right? History never fails us. But Buffalo is steamrolling, though. I'm not going to lie to you. But the Jags, they have been in every game. It's just late turnovers kill them. They've lost both games by less than a touchdown. Dolphins, 17-20. Browns, 18-13. I don't understand. And Trevor Lawrence, he's not playing bad. 14, well, no, that's bad, actually. 14 of 30, that's not good. 220 yards, though. No touchdowns. He was sacked 4 times. Brian Thomas, again, I'm about to start Brian Thomas, dog. I have to start Brian Thomas. Because who is Seattle playing? Seattle's playing who? Who's Seattle playing? DK Metcalf and Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey lives rent-free in DK Metcalf's head. But the Browns play the Giants. All right, this is what I'll do. I will bench DK. I'm gonna bench Amari Cooper. Yeah, I'm gonna bench Amari Cooper. And I'm gonna start Brian Thomas. I feel like that's such a bad idea, but I'm gonna go with my gut. My gut is telling me start Brian Thomas, bench Amari Cooper, because my defense isn't bad. Giants defense is not that bad. But we're at the closing hour. I appreciate everybody for coming through today. Happy Sunday to everybody. Happy football day to everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed. I will see you guys again on Tuesday. Tuesday night, I will see you guys again. And I hope to see everybody there. But until then, take care of yourself. Hydrate, drink some water, do something with your life, okay? Talk to somebody, check on your family members. Tell somebody you love them. And then we will see each other again on Tuesday. 9 o'clock. Talk about everything that happened over the weekend. But until then, peace.
3, 2, 1. We have a liftoff.